For more on this, we're joined by Romain Troublé. He is the president of the Ocean and Climate Platform. Thanks so much for being with us here on France 24. I know there's a lot to say about what's going wrong when it comes to the world's ocean, but is there any reason to be optimistic?
Things are going wrong. It gets warmer, and as you heard, it's one of the key aspects of the ocean. Because when you get 1 degree fever, you are in your bed, and the same for the ecosystems on the ocean. When they got 1 degree warming, and which is the case today, and they have a big threat for the marine species. Of course, there is also a ground for hope because the ocean is one of the most resilient ecosystems on the planet. As soon as you protect it, as soon as you diminish your impact on the ocean, you can see some progress pretty quickly. Of course, what you see here is pollutions all over the place. We just talked about it at the UNESCO over the last couple of days. And this plastic pollution is everywhere. And it's not the topic today is not more recycling it. The topic is how do we plan to reduce the production of plastic in the coming decades, and how we can do it globally, at global scale.
So where do we stand? What kind of progress has been made in protecting the world's oceans?
There are today some areas that we try to protect. We call them the marine protected areas, where we stop as much as possible the activities of humans to let the ecosystem to strive and to cope with the changing conditions of the ecosystems. There are a lot of efforts to be done today still on the carbon dioxide we put in the atmosphere, of course. The Paris Agreement is a key element. But also there's a lot of effort to do the way we fish the ocean. We fish today, we destroy completely the fish stocks because we fish badly, we fish too small organisms, too small fishes. We pollute them with plastic, we pollute them also with chemicals. So everything that is happening in the ocean, the solutions are on land in our policy, in our politics, in our also commitment. And to achieve all this, research is also the key player in the game.
Let's focus on France for a moment. How is France doing when it comes to protecting its maritime areas?
So France has a very strong say in the international bodies, whether it is high seas negotiation governance, so we need to make a treaty. France is very pushy on that for the ban of deep sea mining, which is a very hot topic today, as we have to decide this in coming July. It's a very strong say, but also in France, in the French territory, there is a huge work to be done on how to protect better our own backyard, our own areas, so that fishermen can strive in the future, can still make a living of fishing, and also that the ecosystem is catching up to produce the oxygen we need, to produce the carbon capture that we also need, and also to produce the proteins that some of us is living on.
You've mentioned pollution and plastic pollution in particular. Sea level rise has also accelerated in recent decades. What kind of threat does it pose to humans?
Well, sea level rise will be impacting a lot of people, mostly in the developing countries where there is no much infrastructure or global politics, global adaptation policies. But sea level rise will also affect developed countries like France. And sea level rise, what will we do? It will go and go like the sea going over the land and the cities. Some whole neighborhood of cities will have to be relocated in the coming decade or 2 decades, which is a huge. If you imagine moving around a suburb or a neighborhood of a city, it's a huge work to do because the networks behind that, all the history of people. I mean, the roots where people has been living for decades need to change because of this sea level that is rising. And concrete is not the solution. We need to do it with nature and not against nature. We need to team up with nature and not fight against nature as we do for the last 40 years now.
Given all of your expertise, are you hopeful that a difference can be made, that we can make a difference when it comes to the world's oceans?
Of course, we can make a difference, and we have to fight for this effort, and we have to believe that we can make it in order to achieve something in the future. So everything is up for grab, and any solution that we can deploy, any education we can promote, any engagement we can trigger is the key today. We need to really care about this ocean as our life is depending on it, which is the case.
Okay, we'll leave it there. Romain Troublé, president of the Ocean and Climate Platform. Thanks so much for joining us here on World Oceans Day. We appreciate it.